Alright guys, if you're watching this video, that means you're into G House. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to make a drop in the style of Loach 21, which is going to sound something like this. What is up, ninjas? My name is Samworld, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a drop like Loach 21. Now, my goal with this video, guys, is not for you guys to be like, oh, now I can copy them, rip them off, my man. No, my goal for you guys is to look at the video, and if there's things you like about their productions, like the drum section is dope, in my opinion. They do dope drums. You can be like, wow, I really like how they have those drums. They're different than what everyone else is doing. I'm gonna try and do that. I'm gonna use that in my production. Or I like their bass line. Let me use it in my production in a different way. I hope that that's the way you guys are looking at these tutorials rather than just ripping the artist off. And if you want to rip them off, whatever, as long as you don't mind people saying that you sound like Loach 21. Now for this tutorial, guys, I am going to be using sounds created by me from the brand new Confessions Revolution Volume 3 pack, which is a sample pack sound bank for Serum Silent, project files for G House producers specifically that are looking for that sound of Confession. So everything in there is in the style of Confessions, guys. I like to niche my pack sound because I know I can make samples that will work for you. So that's what we're going to be using for this video to create this little drop that we're going to be doing. Now again, I'm not going to sound as good as Loach 21 themselves, but we can try and we can also learn from this little experiment or this little tutorial that we are doing. If you guys want to support my channel in any way, you can find everything at evilsounds.com. Convention Revolution Volume 3 will be out this Friday at a discount, guys, for the first week. You know, usually I like to do a good discount where it's like 30 bucks and then it shoots up to 50. So make sure to pick it up if you want to support it this Friday. And let's get started with this tutorial. Alright guys, so welcome to the drum section of this tutorial. Now, whenever you're starting a drum pattern, guys, I do suggest that you just go with one of the standard 909, 808, 707, 606 drum machines that, as you guys know, are very reformed, very legendary. They've been used a lot, and they have some classic sounds. And then from there, once you have the pattern, the rhythm down, then you can go in and start putting your own samples to rebuild that rhythm. You know, it makes it a lot easier because a lot of times you just get so caught up in trying to choose the right samples that you never get to the part of the rhythm and you just end up using a drum loop. So what we're going to do, guys, is very standard. We're at 128 BPM, which is what Loach 21 likes a lot. They like to be 126, 128 a lot. There's a lot of energy in these BPMs. As you start to go 124 and 120, you start to get more into a groovy, swingy kind of BPM. So it's up to you to decide where you want to be with when you're creating a G House track. So standard 4 on the 4 here, guys. Very, very, very self-explanatory. Now, the next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to lay down the claps. Now, Loach 21 are going to go with these type of claps that, you know, are just very standard. Pass. In their newest track, though, however, they do something really cool, which you can do to kind of give a little bit more of a garage vibe to your track, which is going to be using another clap or a snare that sounds eerie, and it's going to give it like a ta ta. So that's going to give us that kind of vibe. So right now, if I play this, so that ta ta at the end of it. So let's put a snare there. So that's what we're going to use there. Now, we do want it to be a lot quieter than the clap, of course, because it's just going to be like ta ta ta. So we just want... So that's what we're going to go for, okay? Next thing we're going to do is add a little rim shot to kind of signify our perk for this song. And they like to use it. In their newest song, they have a little perk going here. And that usually when you land a perk, you can kind of land it on the offbeat so it doesn't interfere with the kick or the clap or a hat. So we can have that here. So that's going to be our perk for this here, and then we're going to switch it out. As you guys know, we're just laying down the rhythm right now. Now, the other thing I really like Loach 21 for is the fact that they really, really don't use the offbeat hat like a lot of people do. Like, yeah, they'll put it on the offbeat, but then they won't keep doing the offbeat hat, as you guys know. You know, because it wouldn't be Loach 21. They like to do it, use it, but then they go into this kind of hip hop pattern with the closed hat. So they like to kind of use these kind of hip. So we're going to use that maybe around here. And then we're going to use the offbeat hat again. Oh, maybe not offbeat. And then again, we're going to use that here. And then here we're going to do kind of like a triplet pattern with the hat. I'm gonna add it here as well. So that's gonna give us that rhythm. Alright guys, and after we have our drum rack pattern done, we can go and create the drum pattern for this. So I've taken the liberty of already doing it for ourselves here. So this is how it's going to sound like. Our rhythm up here with different samples. Yeah. So I do have that vocal yo added. Now the key thing here is, as you know, we have the clap, and then we have another. But that's going to be a different sounding clap to that, so that way we get that vibe there. Now I do need to add an offbeat hat, a simple one there. And we're just going to use that there. So we're going to have that lower. And that's going to help there to kind of. Yeah. Yeah. So again, something to learn here is try and stay out of the normal pattern of the offbeat hat going tss, 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 because it's so overused. And Loach 21 have some really interesting rhythms in their tracks, and the drums really help in just accentuating that, because without the drums, just a kick and a clap, it's just going to sound like plum, 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 but it's not going to have that rhythm that you need to get people dancing. So this is going to be the drum section for our track, guys. Very standard here, just routed into a drum buzz. We haven't done mixing at it at all, and I don't think we're going to do mixing in this tutorial, but at least you get to see kind of like the rhythm pattern of it. Alright guys, now the bass is going to be one of the hardest parts to recreate the Loach 21 sound, but if you have the right presets and you know how to do it, it's actually pretty simple. So what I'm going to do is use the Confessions Revolution Volume 3 Serum Sound Bank that comes in the pack to create the bass, guys. I'm going to be using 2 layers. One of them is going to be my top layer, the other one's going to be my bottom mid-low layer. Now one of the things you have to know is that if you're using like a certain vibe to one of the layers, like giving it a bit of attack, you want your sub to also have that attack so it doesn't sound a little off. Alright, so what we're going to do, guys, is go into the Confessions Revolution Volume 3. I already have a preset I have in mind called Jump 21 Avenue, which is going to sound. So we're going to be using this. Now we're going to duplicate that, or I already have the channel there, but I'll duplicate it so I don't have to open up Serum again. And I'm just going to go with something a little bit more conformed, like I believe the Fetus preset is going to have a lot of. And that's going to give me that. Okay, so from there, we're going to talk about the presets right now in a sec, but I just want to show you how it's going to sound like for you guys. So we're going to bust them. Bass, of course, you know, put your standard LFO to or sidechain, however you like to sidechain, so that it doesn't interrupt. And when we play them, it's going to give you that a cool vibe. So you're going to have that vibe instantly. You know, so the right sounds will get you there. So now if we kind of do a little bit of a pattern here, and again, we're not going to make anything that revolutionary or like fucking amazing, but it's going to sound good. That's the important. I think I want to use it there. So. Okay, so now on that bass, I'm going to get rid of the lows on it, as my other bass is going to act, again, like I said, as my sub. Okay, it's going to provide all the power. And we're just going to EQ that here. It's going to be the opposite of that, so we're just going to do that there. So now we're going to get something like. So you can kind of see it gives us a really good vibe straight out of the get-go. Now let's talk a little bit about the presets and why it sounds like this and what makes up the Loach 21 bass. Now of course they have a lot of different bass lines, guys, that we can go over, but I'm going to go over their most iconic one that most people know them about, and that is going to be the 21 Jump Avenue preset that we have here. Now the thing about them that I really like, again, is this preset defines them. It's their sound. They find a unique vibe and they're working with it. But the key thing about this sound that you really have to understand is the fact that it sounds this way because we're using 2 oscillators. One is going to be the bottom Okay, and then we have the top part, which is, so that's going to be another saw layered on top, but that one's going to be up 1 octave or 2 octaves at a +7, and that will give. Let me put this one up, and that's you can hear. So I wouldn't recommend playing them at the same octave because, as you guys saw, it doesn't really sound that good. So that's how we get that sound. You can go +1. But +2 is the sweet spot, as you can see. Now, when you're doing these sounds too, they like to have this sort of attack to them, as you can see here. And I suggest that you use LFO 2 to do your shaping of the sound for this one, so that you can have it however you want. Let's say you want it to have more length. You can give it more attack if you want. So then we get. So you kind of get the idea there. That's going to be the main thing about their sound, is that +7 vibe that you see going on there. And then, of course, you have a lot of effects like downsample, distortion that you can get into. But again, you know, guys, if you guys want to study these kind of sounds, the pack is going to be there, and you guys can get the presets and go through them and be like, okay, this does that. You know, look at the programming, and then from there, make your own sounds. But I will teach you guys how to make it yourself so that you can kind of see how simple it is. So what we're going to do is just initialize this. And we're going to use 2 saws. One of them is going to be the bottom part of it, of course. So let's. This one's going to be at +3 octave. +2 maybe. We're going to use filter to shape. So we're going to route it there. And we're just going to do the attack. Envelope mode on. Okay, and let's see, maybe this one. And of course, you know, we're going to apply distortion. Bit of down sample. Sorry again if you guys your ears are suffering. Put that. Maybe, you know, add little stuff like phaser, little bit less reverb. Here with. Now, if you want the sound to be stereo, just add 2 saws to the top layer, so that way it's on the side of the on the stereo signal. Okay, so that's how you're going to go about it. Now, I'm going to go back to the glorious preset, Jump 21. Okay, so we're going to move this a little bit to the left. And And then here, I want to add like more ear candy. So ear candy is little spots that are open. You can add little effects here and there that you might find that sound dope. So we're just going to find another sound that we can put there. Slower volume. Sorry guys if I'm blowing. The chicken. I'm just trying to see if it works. I'm gonna give it back to Lowe's though. I like this one. I think the classic dog one. And just. This one, you know, we need to fine tune this attack. And this is why I say it's better to use the LFO for this kind of stuff, so that, in fact, I think I'm going to do that. Because it makes it a lot easier on you rather than messing with the attack and decay and sustain. There you go. And think we're in the key of A, right? And then there, on that other spot here, I can add like an 808 hit. Again, this is not Logic 21 anymore because I'm not following the rules in a way if you think about it. But again, it's just like, you know, telling you guys about the ear candy part. You can add stuff like 808s here and there to just feel the. So we're gonna go down. So. And then just repeat that, and then you can add variations here and there, but that's going to be mainly the bass for it, guys. And the next thing we need to focus on are the vocals that they love to use on their drops. Alright guys, so this is going to be the last part of the tutorial, which are the vocals. So please keep in mind, these are vocals. I would not use them in a finished track, but I want to show you because I can't find the right ones. Alright guys, so for the last part, it's going to be the vocals. So I'm going to show you how to get the same vibe that they have in their vocals. Now keep in mind, it all depends on the vocal sample, and the ones I might pick might not fit the track we're working on or the drop we're working on right now, but I want you to focus on the technique in order to do it so that you can do it yourself. So I'm going to be using a couple vocals here. The first ones I'm going to use are going to be ad-libs, which are going to be like
yeah.
So like and all that. So the first one is the which we're going to use, and you can record yourself going if you want, and you're going to use it like kind of like a perk on certain offbeats where there's no beat or yeah. So that's gonna work there. So I'm gonna use that one here. I'm gonna down pitch it a to get that vibe. That's all we have to do via A. And I'm gonna use a CLA here, which is gonna help out a lot. And we're just gonna go with CLA vocals on that. I like to use CLA for like these samples that are already processed. It usually does. Maybe went a bit too far. There we go. And we're going to use that. So that's my voice going, I'm just pretty much just down pitching it. Now the next type of vocal are the ones that they use, which are very they're really nice. Like they sound auto-tuned, so you're gonna have to have a male voice or a female voice that you're gonna run through something. So let me see if I can find something that's a little bit raw.
Go get low, touch your ass on the floor. Go.
She a bass hoe, she a freak hoe. She drop it down low when the beat go.
When the bass comes in, so yesterday I went out. That bass hoes almighty fuck.
G-house sound.
Yeah.
That bass hoes dropped her booty.
Let's go with that bass hoes drop her booty. But what they like to do, in essence, you know, they're not gonna use vocals like that. They use vocals that say something, usually like R&B style and whatnot. But they like to use that. We can run little alter boy and auto tune the vocal, or to an extent, as that's the vibe they like to go a lot. And my biggest suggestion, if you want to kind of get that vibe, is to go. Let's lower this.
That bass hoes dropped her booty. That bass hoes dropped her booty.
So we're going to have this at 0. I don't know what key it's in all honesty. But again, like I said, let's focus more on the technique rather than the way the cringe that it sounds like, guys. But you're going to use stuff like little alter boy that you can use in robotic mode. You're going to send this to, again, the bass will drop her booty to little alter boy here. And then we can do cool stuff like this where we go maybe, you know, and just mess around. So we're in C.
That bass hoes dropped her. That bass hoes dropped her booty. That bass hoes dropped her booty.
And then
let's stay
in my.
That bass hoes dropped her booty. 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 That bass hoes dropped her booty.
So that's gonna give you that auto-tune vocal, as you can see. Let's go down.
That bass hoes dropped her booty. That bass hoes dropped her booty. That bass hoes dropped her booty. That bass hoes dropped her booty.
And that sounds cringe.
That bass hoes dropped her booty.
And then you can use the vocal. Again, I know the vocal's not good, okay? Like that. But you can use that vocal like the R&B one and then use it as well like every 4 bars. can use it in various formats there, but that's going to give you the auto-tune vocal. But what my recommendation is to you guys, if you really want to be legit about it and you want to use vocals like they are, is to grab male vocals from Splice, or maybe you have a male vocalist out there, and you down-pitch the vocals, and then you can, I guess, auto-tune or harmonize them with this guy here. As you move, you can do that. There's quantum. Maybe get this here. And of course, you know, if you have a good guy singing, it's gonna sound a lot better, like do 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 do. But for now, that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys there for the vocals. But I'm just going to leave the us for the little preview that we have in the beginning of the video. And that is going to be the Lotion 21 drop. There's still more that we can do to it, of course, like adding variation and all that. But I wanted to show you guys the basics of it, the rough draft of it, on how you would go about it, the main important parts. Everything else is going to be creative-wise on how you decide to build the track. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And that's going to be it, man. Alright guys, and that is going to be how to make a drop like Lotion 21. One of the things I really liked about the Lotion 21 sound was the fact, of course, the bass. But one of the things I didn't know was the intricate drum work that they do in a lot of their tracks. They don't use the standard offbeat hat, offbeat hat, offbeat hat. They like to do really crazy kind of hip-hop vibe patterns, as you saw with the hi-hats and all that. So I really like that, and that's something I think I learned from this tutorial as I was doing it and researching for it. If you guys want to let me know down in the comments below what you like about Lotion 21 and what you're going to try out, make sure to leave them down below. Tutorial suggestions, go for it, guys. Confessional Revolution Volume 3 will be coming out this Friday. All the sounds in this video were from that. So if you dig it, make sure to support the channel, guys, so I can keep making videos for you guys on the daily. And with that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Peace out and happy G House producing.